Rarely does a case so grisly, so grotesque capture the complete, undivided interest of the 24-hour news cycle and its disseminators. As a journalist, my modus operandi, to speak on theme for a moment, is to seek the truth, tell it to the American public, and finally move on to the next day's news. There is, however, one case that has stuck with me long past my final reporting. One case that I have never been able to move beyond. It is known in the eyes of the public as the Silver Scream. And, if you're reading this book, you've undoubtedly heard of it. However, the real truth of what happened during the fall and winter of 2018 has never been published, until now. In the months following the killings, I have spent countless hours poring over documents and journals, news clippings and television reports, some done by this very author himself. All of this time was spent searching for the necessary elements that begin to paint a picture that is as close to the truth as one can possibly dream of achieving. The following is an account that I believe will serve as the best record of the events that happened during those months of unspeakable bloodshed. In addition to the aforementioned documents, this work was also made possible by painstaking hours finding and interviewing those who were most closely involved. This being said, however, it is worth noting that we may never know precisely what happened during that interval of time. If the dead could talk, what a tale they would weave. If the killer revealed what lurked behind their devilish eyes, we might begin to understand how the events unfolded. And if certain pieces of evidence had not been destroyed, they might have revealed a picture in far greater detail than we now find possible. In these absences, some liberties have been taken as to the mindset of the killer and the victims. These liberties are not taken lightly, but rather with the utmost care and meticulous extrapolation. Too often a journalist may be so excited to find an answer to a question that even an incorrect puzzle piece can be made to fit. I assure you, dear listener, that I have resisted the temptation to jump to any conclusions within this audiobook, and everything that you will hear is factual, corroborated evidence stitched together to form the most complete and accurate delineation possible. One set of tools that we were fortunate enough to stumble upon are the notes of Dr. Ian Black. These notes take us not only into the mindset of the doctor himself, but also of his most infamous patient, detailing their sessions in the process. Of particular importance are the notes regarding the patient's dreams, restated here in the present tense to convey an entree into the alternate reality of the subconscious, and as originally transcribed in the doctor's actual notes. Also at our disposal, and certainly an instrument that is worth noting, is the knowledge that these killings emulated those depicted in various films of the horror canon. This discovery made it possible to insert some of the details from these films, and thereby extrapolate on the events themselves. It is a coloring between the lines where only gray existed. In closing, I remind you that all of this effort, from research to recording, has been made in an attempt to better understand and make sense of the horrific elements that make up the Silver Scream.